Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Empire Total War. I think this is part 7 now. Anyway, I'm recording my voiceover after I've actually done the playthrough. I don't know if I'm going to do that again, but we'll see. The reason I did it like this, of course, is so that I could record audio on things that have already happened and give some more relevant commentary. We'll see if that works or not. But anyway, at this point I was just checking all the status of my armies and how they were doing. I was just checking Gibraltar actually. As you can see, I've got a nice... Actually, I'll just pause just here. Anyway, sorry, having slight technical difficulty there. But anyway, yeah, I was just checking status, and obviously I ended the turn here. You will see that I do need to build quite a bit more troops, I think, across all of my regions, but we'll see if that works or not. Maybe I should speed up the end turns, although there is something fairly significant that happens in a minute or two. Obviously, to assault that settlement is going to be a little bit tricky, because they're reinforcing it quite a lot, but I will eventually have to take New France, because I have to take New France as part of the objective. And as you can see now, they start to put pressure on my ally. The United Provinces have never done anything with that army, while I think about it. Oh god, yeah. Spain are giving me constant grief in this theatre. Obviously I run away, because what else could I do? You know, it's not like I'm going to risk a ship against that. Oh yeah, right, here we go. As you can see, they've got about 4... Oh, sorry, you can't quite see that. But they just took Portugal out. I'm actually going to roll back a couple of seconds there. Sorry about this. They have, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units, perhaps? Against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... You know, they have 6 versus 6 units, right? And they've got all of that militia, and yet they lose. That's incredible. I mean, the significance of what has just happened is absolutely huge. That means that Spain will now put much more pressure on me during this campaign. That's going to make it a lot harder. I can deal with it, but still. The significance of that should not be understated. It means Spain will either attack Gibraltar, or they will reinforce their colonies. Of course, I've almost taken their colonies, so I might be able to do it anyway. But still, it's not good. Ah, yeah. And obviously the French were putting pressure on my 13 colonies, so they have to kick them off again. Fortunately, they are able to do so. But it's getting to the point where I'm going to have troops in the 13 colonies at this rate. I don't know what Louisiana are doing with that fleet. I don't see what the big idea would be, to be honest. But anyway, their fleet, their choice. Yeah, I have to confess I don't really see what the point of that fleet is either, besides killing pirates. Now that's a sneaky move. Pirate all of your enemies' trade routes. Which the Barbary states are known for doing, and I think they're going to do in a little second here. No, actually that one went straight past. Oh, was it this one? No? Oh, sorry. My commentary is a little off. Oh, here we go. It's that one. Sorry.
There is a degree of unrest in this region, as the majority of the population follow a different religion to that of their rulers.
Well, to be honest with you, there's not much I can do about Trinidad and Tobago.
To proselytize the true religion to the masses.
Yeah, and that's Portugal just been destroyed by Spain because they lost their home region. And that's quite significant. That will mean much more pressure on me. And here I was just checking the status of India. As you can see, the Maratha Confederacy still haven't quite wiped it out yet. Which is good, because I don't want them to do it too quickly. That would be bad. I think at some point I attacked this settlement. Can't remember exactly when, but I did it. I think I might have done a few other things first, though. Yeah, I am starting to build up my navies. I do need to do that more. Because what is this? This is now turn 10. I've wiped out the pirates, so there is that.
Orders, Captain.
I'm getting good trade revenue from this lot, though. Spain haven't thought to come this way yet. Though they probably will at this rate.
Ship's orders.
Well, that'll raise my income a little bit more, so there is that. I mean, if you look here, right, England starts with this researcher that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in research skill. Actually, I don't think he starts quite that high, but he's pretty close to it. He's like 7. That's insane. That gives you massive bonuses. Obviously, I got annoyed with the French and decided to blockade them. Although I find it amusing that the Dutch are Denmark are blockading with Indiamen. That just strikes me as very, very, very weird. But whatever, it works. Though I'm kind of surprised that Sweden don't sail over there and sink it, to be honest. But hey, there you have it. Yeah, obviously the French have started building a dockyard, which is a worry, if I'm being honest. Because they are going to start to be able to pump out ships. I can't remember the naval technology that gives dockyards. I probably ought to find out, because I need it. 6 or 8, yeah. I'm alright for the minute, but that situation isn't good.
Aye, aye, sir.
One advantage, of course, of recording like this is I don't get annoying background noise, like fans and stuff going off. That is one major advantage. Sorry. Now, I think at this point I started to recruit a load of troops, and I can't remember where I did it at. Ah, here we go. No, not yet. Can't remember where I did it. Ah, here we go. The one there.
Yes, my lord.
Here we go. Here's a battle with Spain. You knew that was coming. Quite an easy battle, really. I mean, you've got what? One melee warrior unit, 2 firelock citizenry, and a cannon against 5 colonial line infantry. The Spanish do not stand a chance, to be absolutely quite frank. You'll see shortly enough, but yeah. To put it bluntly, Spain didn't really manage to put up any real resistance whatsoever during this battle. I'm almost tempted not to even bother showing it, but I will, just because I can. I am, however, going to pause it just now, sorry. Hi again, right. Sorry about that, I had to check something that was going on in my computer. I decided to skip a little bit of the battle because that's just me tediously walking through this town. I decided to walk through the town to shield me from artillery fire, and they did fire a couple of artillery shots at buildings that didn't really do any damage to either the buildings somehow, or my troops for that matter, which is what I wanted. So yeah, whenever you face artillery, just stick them behind a building. It's not like they can do anything, well, at least with direct fire artillery. Mortars can go over, obviously, but if you've got artillery that's shooting at you, you can just stick them behind a building. It's not like they can do anything to you when you're behind a building. If you're in the building, that's another matter, but yeah. So here, as you can see, I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor or not, that'd be embarrassing if you can't, but yeah. That artillery emplacement simply does not have the range to fire, or it does have the range, but it doesn't have the right angle to fire, and because it's in an artillery emplacement, and because it's a demi-cannon, it can't even turn to fire. So by coming up at its flank there, there's nothing they can do. I mean, they're line infantry versus firelock armed citizenry, what are they going to do? And obviously they've got 1 melee unit, but what's that going to do them? I think, considering there's 120 men in their melee unit on the left there, and there's 60 men in each of those units there, that's what? 60, 60, 120, 240 men versus 120 for each one of these line infantry. So 120 times 5 is, hold on a minute, 100, 600 versus 240. No chance. Absolutely no chance. The Spaniards are not going to win this battle. I would have to be an utter moron to lose this battle. And that may sound arrogant to say, but yeah, it's the truth. I think losing this battle would be nearly impossible. And I think if the situation were reversed, it would be very, very hard to win. Even if I were to outright front charge that artillery emplacement and it had canister shot, I really, really doubt there could be a victory here. Of course, I'd take a lot more losses doing it that way, which is why I didn't charge it from the front. Not out of cowardice or anything, but because I don't want to waste my men fruitlessly. I don't believe in throwing men's lives away. There you go. Now I did notice at this point that my line was a little bit out of formation, so I decided to hurry a few of the units up to get them into position. As you can see, the Spaniards are moving up their firelock armed citizenry to attack. And quite soon now there's an open fire given. Yeah, there you go. That's what, 9 men in the first volley from one of them. 2 men dead there. Half the unit dead already on the firelock armed citizenry. And I think they managed to get 1 volley off at this point. I'm not sure. Only 1 shot that time. Yep, they killed 1 man there. One of my generals. And yeah. They lost nearly half the unit in the answering volley, so it's not like they had a real chance there of victory, to be honest. Now here I noticed just how close the melee unit was to these two units, so I decided to move those two units up. I was a little bit worried that this unit here intersected with the other two units. What unit I've selected, sorry. Yeah, to be fair, the Spaniards didn't do very well here because they basically tried to run for this unit and then decided to go for the one I've currently selected, and they ended up just routing. To be fair, they had 3 units shooting at them, but still. So far, I have taken 2 casualties, one in a general's unit and one in a colonial infantry unit. I think those are the only losses I actually took the whole battle. For some reason they do a little bit of a weird glitch here where they run down there rather than actually attack. But yeah, they come over the sandbags, and at this point it's really all over for the Spanish. I think at some point here a cannon gets fired, but somehow managed to miss entirely. I don't quite know how they managed to miss there, but they did. Yes, somehow they managed to miss at point blank range. Heroic victory. I don't know about heroic, but it was fairly crushing. I mean, it's not like Spaniards had any real chance. Lost 2 men versus 258. That's just pathetic. That's like whoever was commanding the Spanish troops deserves to be taken out. Although he probably already was. Although as you can see, that settlement is supremely annoyed at me. And not even lowering the taxes really solved the problem. The problem is here that I may have to stay on this island in order to hold it. Which is a pain, if I'm being honest. I don't really know why I bothered to replenish the 1 man that was there, but still. Now obviously by occupying this port though, I'm kicking the Spanish out of that port and forcing a naval battle. That's a 5th rate versus all of my ships, which I think is a brig, a sloop, a 6th rate, and the Admiral's 5th rate. Because they only have 1 ship, well, they're kind of a bit buggered, if I'm being honest. A historian is a prophet in reverse. Yeah, I don't know about that. Right, now I think I'm just going to skip forward a little bit. You don't need to watch all of this. Yeah, and as you can see, the Spanish decided to wait for my first vessel by turning that way and firing at me. Got another volley off over in there. Now, I actually think the Spanish did something quite clever here. I think they deliberately intercepted my line in such a way to cause all kinds of havoc. And I think that was quite a smart thing to do. Because it forced me, basically, to order my ships about individually and break formation. I didn't really have a choice at this point, because it was that or crash straight into the Spaniards. Kind of missed a bit there, didn't I? I also went the wrong way, if I'm being honest. I also think it's funny that sloops are almost as big as fifth rates, and yet are much, much worse combatants. I've always wondered about that, to be honest. I've always wondered how the heck that was so. Yeah, and here I had all sorts of manoeuvring difficulties. So sorry for the serious derping. Couldn't be helped. But here we got a serious attack on the stern of one of my ships. Well, actually not too serious. Oh yeah, this might be. No, I kind of lucked out a little bit there. He'd fired all of his shot before he was really close. Fortunately, however, my admiral's ship was close enough, and the enemy ship has lost most of its guns, so... Yeah, I did quite a bit of hull damage to him just there. Yeah, to be honest with you, I think I should have probably broken formation at this point. Because at this point they're just derping around trying to reform and it's not working. And the Spaniards are taking advantage of that fact. I've only lost about 2 men and 2 guns, and they've lost way more than that on their main ship. So on their only ship. So yeah, there is that. Now here I made a mistake. I presented the rear of my ship, the sloop, sorry that is, to them, which was a bad move. As it turned out, I wasn't punished too heavily for it, but still. Yeah, this battle did consist of a lot of derping around, now I think about it. Although I think at some point I decided to go into grape shots. Can't remember when that was. I'll see in just a second. Oh yeah, I think I've already done it, yeah. Yeah, those brigs just don't hold up in combat, if I'm being honest. I don't know if it's my bad commanding of ships, but brigs simply do not hold up in combat when I command them. Someone's probably going to scream at me for saying that, but it's the truth. My 6th rates and 5th rates do way, way, way better. Which is why I've decided to recruit them a lot more. Brigs and sloops, not even going to bother recruiting. I don't really see the point, they're just cannon fodder for enemy shot. I did get a good broadside there though, and I think I killed quite a few people with it as well. Yeah, as you can see they've already fired the broadside. I did try to get a boarding action in here and it didn't quite work. It might be that it routed too quickly, but you'll see. It's quite close to the end of the battle now, to be honest. I actually nearly hit my own ship with my own broadside just then. Yeah, that poor brig just got hammered. Sorry, I'm just not a very good captain to brigs. I don't like them. Or sorry, admiral to brigs. I don't like them. They don't achieve anything. They take shots too easily. Someone's gonna hate me for saying that. Oh. See, half the men are dead. On the enemy ship, that is. And it's already routed. I hoped to be able to capture it, but unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Our nation rules the sea.
Anyway, I'm just going to pause here. Anyway, sorry. I had to take a drink of water there because I was just so thirsty. My admiral gained quite a lot of traits just there, which is good. I like that. I'm going to upgrade that guy and make him really, really good. Actually, sorry, you can't upgrade him, can you? But I'm going to keep that navy, sorry. Yeah, the harbour village apparently is the next one that's going to grow there. I couldn't actually decide what to build here, so I didn't build anything. Which sounds terrible, but there you have it. I might skip forward in a second here, because there's some points I want to cover that are a little bit far in the future. If I skip forward to about there. Oh yeah, as you can see, I started recruiting more ships in this area because I thought I needed them. Still can't build commercial ports, which is annoying. The French probably still can't move out of the Bahamas yet because of how high the religious tension will be. Don't know why I didn't recruit a 6 right there. I probably should have done. Yeah, I'm going to just skip forward a few minutes again. And again. So I just want to check what I spent money on. Now, of course, at some point I'm going to have to take that army out of there and attack New France with it. Which is going to be difficult, to be absolutely honest. Very difficult indeed. Yeah, anyway, you don't need to read all of that, so I'll skip forward a little bit. I think I just spent the money on some troops there, so don't worry about that. France are obviously upgrading that a bit, which is bad, because it's going to make it very difficult to capture. But yeah, even so, it's got to be done. Quebec, New France is one of my targets, I think, to get them 13 colonies, so I really have to take them. It's as simple as that. I don't know if you can quite read the text on the right. I think I can, just about. I don't know why the 13 colonies haven't bothered to build mines. I would have done. Maybe they're just not rich enough. Yeah, Georgia, Cherokee Territory and New France. That's probably not too... Oh, excuse me. That's probably not too hard, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I'm going to skip forward a couple of minutes more, because you've already seen what I'm doing here. Anyway, continuing on. Yeah, the Spaniards are thoroughly converting that territory, which is worrying, to be honest. Very, very, very annoying. I think by this point I'd pretty much spent all my money. It also amazes me how cheap sloops are. I mean, I suppose that's why people recruit them, really. It's also very strange when you unexempt the region from tax, that the public order for the higher classes doesn't go down at all. They're probably not affected by taxes though as much, I suppose. So that's why I decided to take Gibraltar off tax exemption, sorry. I think Gibraltar is presently a tax haven if I remember rightly. It's one of them anyway. Malta's another one. Isles of Guernsey, Jersey, Isle of Man, places like that are just completely and utterly tax havens, where multinational corporations supposedly base themselves. Which, let's face it, is fairly dishonest, if I'm being honest. I know I shouldn't discuss politics, so I'll shut up in a second. You want to discuss politics on a gaming channel? That's bad. Oh, that's bad. You get so much hate mail. Although, to be honest with you, some people really could do with being less worried about hate mail about that. But there you go. Or less worried with hate, sorry, about politics. Yeah. And France at this point starts really laying some pressure on the 13 colonies. Which is annoying. Oh yeah, and I just got an achievement, didn't I? Founding Father or something. Not gonna lie, France is being a little bit annoying. Actually, I know I said earlier that it might prove difficult to take Quebec, but it shouldn't look that hard. They've got 2 firelock citizenry and then 4 units. That's doable. That's takeable. Don't know what that gentleman was doing, but whatever. I think he's a gentleman, isn't he? Yeah, he's a gentleman. Yeah. France started to get really annoying. I tell you what, United Provinces have a stupidly large army. I really wish they'd do something with it. But yeah, still. Sweden has a pretty decent sized army as well. And an awesomely sized navy. Although it's just made out of sloops and other crap, but still. And obviously the 13th colony drive them out of the way, which is good. Quite a nice sound when those swords meet, really. Sorry, I'm just saying random crap at this point because I can. I am fairly impressed though that the 13 colonies are holding out as well as they are. I mean, it's not like I'm giving them much assistance really. Yeah, Savoy likes sinking pirates. It's one thing I notice they do. Right, now at this point, notice that the Iroquois and France appear to be at war. I mean, yeah, I'd assume they'd have to be at war for them to be fighting battles like that. I wasn't actually aware they were at war. I'm going to have to see what's going on there. Now, I've always wondered why they sailed all the way there and then moved that fleet a tiny bit when they couldn't just move the fleet a little bit more, and then having done that, move the bigger fleet more as well. It doesn't make sense the way they moved the units just then.
The ruling classes have written a letter of demands to your national leader as they are unhappy with the current government. Failure to comply will lead to an organized rebellion against you.
Yeah, I never pay any attention to letter
Acquiescence
demands.
at this stage could lead
You can
to
demand
further
all you
demands.
like. I don't care. Right, I'm just going to read this out. This nation has made considerable advance in their social or economic ideology, placing them temporarily one step ahead of their rivals. I can't quite read that word. Physiocrats, I think, believe the only real source of wealth is land, and therefore only agriculture is worthy investment. Physiocracy means ruled by nature, and this perfectly sums up the attitude of the theory's adherents. They believe that land is the only profitable commodity that can... I can't actually read that word, sorry, and should be the sole concentration of those attempting to realise a successful living? Yeah, I might have to give better resolution, really, on these videos in order for people to be able to read things like this. The idea is based on the assumption that something are instinctively selfish and will always act for the benefit of themselves before others. Physiocrats believe that this human characteristic is vital to a thriving economy. If a ruler hampers anyone forward by levying taxes, imposing regulation, and generally attempting to control the flow of trade, he will prevent the creation of wealth and stunt wealth. Wealth creation. As leaders in the development of physiocracy, the French created the theory of laissez-faire. This helped explain their views. Sorry, I cannot read that at all. Right, I am going to have to upload in higher resolution because I cannot quite read that. Out of input a ruler should have on trade and become an influential idea still used to promote economic liberalism today. I think that's what it said. Sorry if that wasn't quite very clear, but yeah. Yeah, they're not happy with me, and they're just not going to be happy with me for a while, so there's not much I can do about that.
What do you require? Your Majesty.
Yeah, I can't figure out who just earned that trait or character. I tried figuring it out, but it's not the monarch. It might be one of the members of cabinet, I suppose. Lloyd Dare. He must be a minister. I'd be buggered if I could figure out which one. And I wasn't really prepared to spend all day trying to figure it out either. It might help if they actually told us which character gets it. And it certainly wasn't Isaac Newton either, so there. As you can see, I'm increasing the size of my armies a little bit. And I'm just going to pause slightly here. This is basically a huge army of brigs, sloops, an Indiaman, and I think I can see 1 6-rate in all of that, as well as some galleys. Basically mostly made out of crap. I don't know why Sweden would make a navy made out of such crap, but they did. Heavens only knows why. Oh yeah, and at this point I started upgrading the home counties, obviously. Oh yeah, that's the point I might want to pause on. Upgrading from tenanted farms to clearances. Now that happened, I'm not actually sure when that happened. I think that didn't happen quite at this point in history. I think that didn't actually happen until about the early 19th, late 18th century. But yeah, the most famous example of that, of course, is the Highland clearances. Quite a sad business, that. But apparently it was Edinburgh would-be lords who decided they wanted more money, and you get more money from clearances than you do from tenanted farms. I shan't say much more on the subject, because that's going to draw someone's eye for sure. I saw it once on a history programme. Can't remember which one. Yeah, Liverpool is quite close to coming along. And here's me embarrassingly not knowing where Liverpool is, and figuring out it's actually there. I didn't realise Liverpool was quite as close to Wales. In fact, Liverpool is really close to Wales according to that. Oh yeah, at this point I decided, why not? I'll have a go at assassinating someone.
Are yours. Their death awaits them.
I wanted to try and assassinate their gentleman to cause all sorts of havoc, but unfortunately, well, you'll see for yourself. Yeah, he failed. He didn't die, but he failed. Now, I don't know why they removed the animation that you got in Medieval and in Shogun. Well, Shogun 2 that is. You got this really nice animation when an agent tried to do something. They removed it, which was really sad. Because I liked that animation. That was good. Yeah, obviously I'm gonna need way more troops here if I don't want to avoid a repeat of, or if I want to avoid a repeat, sorry, of what happened in the Bahamas. Because what happened in the Bahamas was an embarrassment. Well, it wasn't that much of an embarrassment. I did kill a lot of French troops, but still, you don't want to be losing settlements like that. That's just wrong. Now the problem I've got here is eventually Spain is going to come for Gibraltar. I am going to have to seriously consider building fortifications in Gibraltar. It's going to be expensive, but I think I've got to bite the bullet. Obviously I don't do it this video, but I think next video that might be what I have to do. Because Gibraltar is one of those settlements I have to hold. And yeah. Because at the minute I've got a small fleet there and a reasonable sized army. I could probably hold it. Possibly, actually. I mean, I'd do a darn sight better than Portugal did. Portugal somehow managed to lose, even though they had the same number of units, and loads and loads and loads of militia. I would love to know how the heck they lost. That was one weird auto-resolve that just killed Portugal dead. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was actually going to think about reading that out, but I didn't in the end. Oh well. Any of you can pause the video and read it. If you can read it. If you can't, you can send me an angry comment. I won't mind. Bear in mind, because I didn't sign up for Google Plus, and I refuse to sign up for Google Plus, that I will not be able to respond, because I hate being intimidated into being forced into Google Plus, because I think that's just plain wrong. That's a subject in itself, though. I'll probably make a video about that, actually, on its own. But there you go. I think I'm going to end the video somewhere around here, because the rest of this is just me spending the last little bits of money I had. Yeah, I'll just skip forward slightly. Yeah, there's nothing terribly interesting happening here. I think I might recruit a bit more ships though in a bit. Oh yeah, notice that 5th rates have way more firepower than 6th rates. but only very slightly more speed. Very slightly less speed, sorry. That's why I like the idea of a navy made out of fifth rates. Someone probably will tell me it's a bad idea, but I think they look like pretty decent ships to my view. Anyway, I think, oh, I'm just going to check there's not anything further. Yeah, I think, hold on, I'll just go back one again. I think at some point I spent my money on something and I'll just show that. And then I'll call it an end to this video. I really ought to spend less time reading the stuff or reading it out. Yeah, as you can see, I spent the money on a fifth rate. I thought I did. And that is about all she wrote. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't, oh well. What can I say? There's not much I can do there. I suppose if you have constructive criticism, that's something. As long as it's not, this video sucks, never do it again, you suck, get off YouTube, rah, or something like that. That would suck. That's horrible to read. That's not going to make me stop though, so don't worry. Yeah. That is about all she wrote. Thank you very much for watching. See you some other time. Bye.